Hey guys, welcome back. So today we have another keyboard review and this time it's from ASUS. It's from ASUS Republic Gamers. It's the GK2000. It doesn't feel nor does it look like an ordinary keyboard, and it's not for the average Joe due to its price. And it's even given the name Horus, yes, after the Egyptian deity. So let's see if it lives up to its godly name. Now the Horus is certainly an eye-catcher of a keyboard. It reminds me of the Batmobile from the Dark Knight Rises, and it looks more like a Lamborghini from the back. And it actually looks like one of those ASUS high-end Republic of Gamer PCs that have the exhaust vents on the rear right there. It really looks really nice. And other than looking really cool, it also serves a design function. Taking a look at the keyboard on the side right here, the profile is really thin, and the wings right here, what it actually does other than looking cool is it adds elevation to improve ergonomics, and honestly it's really one of the most comfortable keyboards I've used. And other than that, it's for mounting this phone stand right here that's included with the Horus. I chose to mount it on the left side, but you can actually choose to mount it on the right side as well. But mounting it on the left side though, one thing to be noted is that you have to remove the escape keycap to actually slide the mount in place before clicking it. Then put the keycap back in place. So that's to be noted, and other than that, I face no issues. Build quality is bloody good considering the price tag as well as the materials chosen. Looking at the wings right here, they are made out of CNC aluminum, and the backplate for the keyboard is actually anodized and has a brush finish. Try bending this baby and you will never succeed anytime soon, and it weighs a whopping 1.7 kilograms. That's a heavy keyboard, to be honest. And actually transporting it is no issue if you really want to. There's an included neoprene case, and it can even fit in a Nomad 2 backpack as proven right here. Take a look at the corner right there and you get to see our Nomad 2 backpacking video. Now speaking of keys, they have chosen Cherry MX Reds. These are great for people who do not like that tactile and clicky feeling of Cherry MX Blues. They are linear switches, so they feel really light and really nice to type on, and honestly I really like this design decision, as people who like to stream don't have to hear those clickety clackety sounds of the Cherry MX Blues, and actually they're really comfortable to type on for gaming as well as productivity. For a cable is nice and long, so reaching 4 ports fine, beyond is no issue. They're braided as well for the extra toughness, but they can be a little bit hard to bend. I wish they're a little bit softer so they can actually be cable managed easier. Taking a look right here is the two connectors. 2 USB and 2 audio. One for the keyboard itself and the other one is for the 2 USB pass-throughs that are on the keyboard itself. Here we get the audio pass-through, so you can actually mount your gaming headset as well as your gaming mouse directly to the keyboard instead to the PC itself, which is great. Taking a look at the top right hand corner of the keyboard, this is where the media controls are housed. Starting from the most right is the volume slider. They are nice, clicky and tactile. Though I wish they weren't as clicky sounding as they are right now, as streamers for example, they like it a bit quiet, so when they adjust the volume they don't want their audience to hear this sound. So that will be great in the next iteration of the Horus. The mute function though is great. It's very nicely implemented. It's by pressing the button inwards right there. I mean click and it's muted, and click it's unmuted. On the left hand side of it is the LED brightness adjustment for the backlighting. You can actually adjust the brightness in 4 levels, from totally off to low, medium, medium high and high, which is great. On the most left is the ROG logo. This serves as a Windows lock button as well as a caps lock indicator. Now let's move on to the most left of the keyboard. Here you find the dedicated macro keys. Starting from the most top is the ML key, which is used to toggle in between the 3 available macro profiles. Underneath those is the M1 to M4 key, which are the macro keys themselves. Now let's talk about LED backlight illumination. It doesn't have RGB, which is a little bit weird for a keyboard in this price range as well as this age. But I understand they probably did away with RGB backlighting because it's probably too distracting in the dark, especially when you're gaming. I mean, yeah, imagine 16.8 million rainbow colors flashing in your face while you're gaming in the dark. And speaking of the dark, the brightness levels are really nice. I find it is a good balance in between too bright and distracting and too dim, which is great. And the lighting profiles, there are actually 5 of them, and you can pick using pressing Fn and F7, and you can actually toggle in between those 5 settings, which is great. Speaking of all the keys feature 100% anti-ghosting as well as N-key rollover with a touch of a hotkey. Now let's talk about ergonomics, and honestly it does really well. It excels in this area. If this was a student, I've given it an A+, and bloody hell, it's a really comfortable keyboard to use. I mean, taking a look at the design, they really poured a lot of thought into the practicality and ergonomics before implementing such a bold and striking design. Not many products out there I've seen that fail to not disappoint me. I mean, some of them look really nice on paper, they really look nice when you look at it, but when you actually use it, they're not actually very practical to use, nor are they very ergonomic to use. So it's a strike off there. So yeah, considering the price, it's a really pricey keyboard. It looks really pricey, it feels really pricey, it is a pricey keyboard. So it's not really for anyone, it's for those people who want to appreciate looks as well as experience good ergonomics. Taking a look at the keys, they are Cherry MX Reds. I used to be a Cherry MX Blue person, but after trying this for 2 weeks, I've gotten in love with it actually. The actuations are quieter and faster, so typing is much more comfortable and much more accurate. And this favors well towards streamers, as it's actually very quiet and you don't get that clickety tactile feeling of Cherry MX Blues. So that's to be noted, and yeah. Now ASUS actually thought of an intuitive way to customize this keyboard to your liking by the means of a UI which you can download from the support website. From there you can customize macro keys and functionality keys for both games as well as productivity. There are 10 user profiles which you can customize and save onto the keyboard's own memory, so you can bring the keyboard elsewhere and have those user profiles saved. They are even synced, so you can even sync them. For example, I want this profile for League of Legends, so I can sync it to this application. Every time I go into League of Legends, it will automatically load that profile for me. This is great for people who have multiple games. So for example, I can have 5 game profiles. Then the other 2, for example, are productivity, and the other 3 are for daily use. And now for the lighting controls. From here you can customize the brightness as well as the illumination modes. There are 5 illumination modes to choose from and a 6 for full user customization. So from here you can actually customize the brightness as well as display time, frequency and effect status. This is great, so you can actually make this keyboard light up to whichever way you like. And finally, here are my thoughts on the ASUS Republic of Gamers GK2000 Horus gaming keyboard. And honestly, every time I take a look at this keyboard, it reminds me of the Lexus LFA. It's not beautifully priced, but it's a piece of art, and it takes a certain kind of person to actually go ahead and buy one of these and appreciate it for what it is. If you have an expensive build to show off, why not get one of these if you have the extra cash? Or if you are the kind of person who wants a really good looking keyboard that doesn't look like an ordinary keyboard, that performs really well and is actually practical to use, this is it. And it extends well above gaming. It performs stellar in gaming, and it also is really good at daily usage as well as productivity. And that has been my review of the ASUS Republic of Gamers GK2000 Horus gaming keyboard. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.